their very best outside the game. And like every show, we blessed to have another awesome guest. Yeah, I know I normally have our guests introduce themselves. However, this is the first show of season 4, you all. We're blessed to make it to yet a 4th season. And I'm so honored to have our guest with us today. He's our youngest guest ever, our first guest of season 4. So I decided instead of adding that extra weight on him, I'm going to introduce him. I am blessed to have today a young man that's doing some awesome things outside of the game already at a young age. We'll get into all that information later. But we're blessed to have on today Demetrius Purvis II. Man, Demetrius, man, we appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
Are you ready to get into the questions?
Yes.
Here we go. Demetrius, where are you originally from, born and raised? We'll ask, where were you born at first?
I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right. And where do you actually live at now?
In Locust Grove, Georgia.
Okay. All right. So, Demetrius, you're a football player. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. When did you start playing football?
When I was the age 4 years old.
Okay. What other sports do you play? Do you play any other sports?
I played basketball, football. I ran track, and I played baseball for 1 season.
All right. Which is your favorite sport?
Football.
All right. What encouraged you? What kind of motivated you to start playing football?
Just when I was younger, and
you just wanted to start playing?
Yes.
All right. Is it kind of the same way you started with all the other sports?
Yes.
All right. So I said early in the introduction that you were our youngest guest ever on the episode. We've done some highlights with some young athletes, but you're the youngest guest I've had on the episode. Demetrius, how old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
12. And what grade are you in?
I'm in 6th grade.
6th grade. The awesome thing about Demetrius, those that know the Out and Out show, our goal is to really encourage our young athletes to have an identity outside of the sport. So what I thought was so awesome when I ran across Demetrius, the family member of my sister, we're always running guests off of each other. She has an awesome outlet also with Dare to Be. But she ran across you on something she was watching, and she saw that Demetrius was doing some awesome things outside of the sport. Demetrius is a football player. Demetrius will probably play Division I ball one day. He will probably be in the NFL. However, I'm always encouraging our young athletes to know who they are outside of the sport, which means how are you developing yourself outside of the sport? What things are you doing so that when that sport is no longer in your life, you're not feeling left out or empty-handed? And I ran across Demetrius, and you all know we talk about being a student athlete. I saw that Demetrius was a straight A student. Then I also saw that Demetrius was also an author. He has a clothing and shirt line already. And then I think there's something else you have. Is it air fresheners or something that you and your sister have together?
An air freshener.
Wow, that's awesome, Demetrius. Just let's talk about each thing. What encouraged you or kind of motivated you to do each one of those things? Let's touch on the book things. Those watching, you'll see the picture of the book. I already have my copy. The name of the book is called All Through the Game. What encouraged All Through the Game, man? Where did that idea come from?
In 2020, when the pandemic happened, Wheels on the Bus came on the TV, and me and my family started singing about the book, and my brother started to get excited. And the next day after, I started writing about the book.
Wow. And so those that you get, I hope those watching, you'll go grab your copy. Awesome book for a young person. If you have a child that's singing Wheels on the Bus, then this is, and especially if they're an athlete, even if they're not, I think this will be an awesome twist to that melody. Awesome book. I was able to read through it even with my young ones before the show came on today. But it is awesome to see that this young man came up with the idea, to write this book. And so how does your young brother like the book as you sing the song now?
He was dancing, and he started singing the book on his own.
That's awesome. And so the awesome thing is that he's already being an example, first to his sibling in the house, but now other young kids will see this book and see the awesome things that Demetrius is doing. And I'm sure it's going to encourage them to kind of do some of the ideas. So many young people have ideas, but they don't really see it as a reality. And so having a young 12-year-old who didn't think that it was impossible to write this book, and I'm sure we definitely can attribute the awesome parents that he had to encourage him to complete the project. So All Through the Game is the one project. Tell me a little bit about the shirt line that you have. What is it called?
It's called DD Beast Apparel and All Through the Game.
Okay. So what are some things? You just have T-shirts and things right now?
T-shirts, hoodies, pants, and some hats.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Is this something that you can see yourself doing long term between are you already getting ideas for the second book?
Yes.
That's awesome. So already started, and I think it's awesome. I just want our young kids to know that there is life outside of the game. Mr. Rogers want to see all of you all go to the highest level. But the thing is, we know whether it's injuries, whether it's retirement, whether it's you just get tired of playing the game, whatever, that career will come to an end. And so I think it's awesome because Demetrius at 12 years old has already found other things that he wants to do. And I think, Demetrius, you're going to be an awesome example for some of the young people that will be able to see the show. Tell me a little bit about the air fresheners that you have.
Me and my sister came up with an air freshener, and we had different kind of scents of the air fresheners. And
okay, that's good. That's good. Let's talk about football a little bit, and then we're gonna get a little bit into school and just what are some of your plans at this early stage that you've kind of thought out a little bit of. So we'll talk about football, man. What positions do you play?
I play all types of positions: wide receiver, quarterback, DB.
Okay.
All
right. What's your favorite position?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver. You like catching the ball going in the end zone?
Yeah.
Do you have a touchdown dance that you do?
No.
No? You keep it kind of humble and quiet when you score. You just stay excited and keep it inside?
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Nothing wrong with that, Demetrius. And so what are some teams that you played for?
I played for Georgia Elite Stallions.
Okay. How long have you played for them?
I played for them since last year.
Okay. All right. And so what have been some of the, I don't know if you can think of them, what have been some of the highlight points of your career so far? I know you early in football, but has it been a game when you got a certain amount of tackles or touchdowns? Like, what have been some of your most memorable moments so far in sports, or winning a championship? I don't know. Tell me what some things that's been really a big part of your career so far.
When I was 5 years old and I had 5 touchdowns in a game, and that's how I got the name D the Beast.
D the Beast. 5 touchdowns in one game.
Yes.
Wow. What position were you playing when you got those 5 touchdowns? Was it wide receiver?
I was running back.
The running back at the time. All right. Do you miss the running back position, or do you get to play it sometimes still?
I miss it a little bit.
Okay. All right. Basketball. We'll touch real quick on basketball. What position do you play in basketball?
Point guard.
Point guard. So you're pretty good with the handling, I guess.
Yes.
Pretty good at shooting?
Yes.
So, man, I know with the high level that you're playing on, that you probably spend a lot of time working out and getting prepared to play the game, whatever sport it is that you're playing in that season. But I know there has to be something that you like doing outside of sports. So what are some things you like doing outside of the sports?
I like spending time with my family and playing my PlayStation.
What's your favorite game on PlayStation?
Probably Call of Duty or 2K.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm going to ask you, play sports. I know you're into sports. Do you like watching sports a lot? Are you a student of the game? Do you like to watch college and pro athletes?
Yes.
All right. Who's your favorite teams? You can name it on any level, college or pros. Who's your favorite teams?
For college, I like the Georgia, Clemson, and LSU.
Okay. All right. How about in the pro? And that is it that just for football, or you like them in all the sports?
Just for football.
Let's talk about pros then. You already answered for college. So in the pros, who are some teams that you like? Who are some NFL teams that you like?
I like the Rams, the Dolphins, and the Ravens.
All right. Who's your favorite players in sports? You can name basketball, football. Who are just your favorite players? When I ask that, who the first names come to mind?
Stephon Diggs.
Okay. That's
Just
good. And who was the other one? Did you have another one?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. So that means you probably know how to do the gritty a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. So that's awesome. Two awesome players on the defensive. No, you said Stephon Diggs. I was getting them confused, but Stephon Diggs, and you say Jefferson. So I've been able to watch a couple videos. I've seen some stuff you've done on offense. I saw you come up and make some pretty good hits on defense, man. So I see that you have a bright career ahead of you. I was looking at some videos on your page, man, and I saw that you got to experience something doing the one of the bowl games this year. What bowl game did you get to participate in?
The Georgia versus
the Peach Bowl. Was that the Peach Bowl?
the Peach Bowl.
Yeah, the Peach Bowl, the Georgia, and that would be an Ohio State game this year. How was that experience, man? I saw you signing some autographs and things like that. How was that experience?
It was nice.
All right. So, man, as you all see, we have an awesome young man, just 12 years old, doing an awesome job, not only in school, but also on the field. And I guess let's touch on school a little bit, man. It's important that kids know that, the way the term is written, student athlete. And so with you doing an awesome job in school, what is it that keeps you motivated to focus on classes? Like, what is it that helps you to stay focused on your classes while also pursuing a career in the sport?
My parents and my teachers.
That's good, man. That's good. Do you have a certain study schedule where you study a certain amount of time, or you just kind of pick things up pretty quick?
I usually pick things up pretty quick.
Okay, that's good. Now, I know we're so early in the game, Demetrius, so don't feel pressure with this question, but I'm going to ask you, if you can have it your way, is there a college that you would like to go to?
I would like to go to Clemson.
Clemson? That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I won't hold that against you, Demetrius. I'm going to let you know Clemson is in the ACC. And though I live in North Carolina, I'm a big Florida State fan. But I promise you, you make it to Clemson, Demetrius, I'm going to be there for a few games to not only go for my Seminoles, but I'm going to be rooting for you too, man. So you keep up the good work. I won't hold the Clemson thing against you, man. It's all good. But, hey, man, it's been awesome doing this time, man, being able to just ask some questions, man, and the awesome things you're doing. Do you have an idea for a new book already? Have you kind of thought about some things you want to write about yet?
Yes.
All right, that's awesome. I don't want you to get that information up because I want everybody to stay tuned and look out for what you have coming. Or do you have some more ideas as far as clothing and shirts or some other, products that you may plan on putting out soon?
Yes.
All right. Is there a name for the air freshener that you have?
Yes.
What is the name of it?
It's called K Fresh.
K Fresh. And again, for those that didn't catch it earlier, I want you to give me the name of the book as well as the name of the t-shirt brand that you have.
All Through the Game, DDB Apparel, and K Fresh. That's
awesome, man. Awesome products. The young gentleman is only 12 years old, and he's doing some awesome things outside of the sport. Well, is it safe to assume, we already know most athletes, your goal is to go pro. Would it be safe to assume that you would like to own your own store where you can sell your own products right out of your store?
Yes.
All right. What is your thoughts? I'm going to ask you some big guy questions, man, because always I want to encourage with our young athletes to know as you do well, where these are doors that God bless us with to be able to help others. Like, have you had opportunities to do any kind of community stuff, or is that something you're looking forward to be able to help other people?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to help other people.
So those that have watched this show for the last 3 seasons, there's 2 questions I like to ask every guest. And the first one I'm going to ask Demetrius so that our guests hear this answer from even one of our young people that we've had on the show. Demetrius, my first question I want to ask you is, how important is it to have positive people in your circle? And then I want to ask you, and you kind of answer them together, then I want you to tell me in your own words, what are some of the negative things that can happen if you don't have positive people, if you have negative people in your circle? So kind of answer that all together. Is it, how important is it to have positive people? And then what are some of the consequences of having negative people in your circle? Let us know, sir.
It's very important to have positive people around me because I don't want no negative people around me.
Okay.
And
what was, I think the second part, I know I asked it all together, but the second part is just, what are some of the things that can happen if you have negative people around you? I think young people your age need to hear it from another young person.
If I have negative people around me, I can get in trouble and there can be many consequences behind it.
Okay. All right. And that's awesome answer, man. And those watching need to know everything that Demetrius is doing, the awesome job he's doing at 12 years old. He understands already that it can take all of that away. His future career in professional sports, him being an author, his clothing line, all those things can be gone overnight by having negative people in you. So Demetrius, man, keep up the good work. And the last question I ask every guest is, who is it or what is it that inspires you most in life?
My parents.
Your parents. That's awesome, man. With Demetrius, it's been an awesome episode having a young man like yourself on here. I believe you're just as big of an influence to some of the young people that watch as some of my older guests, because I know, and being able to go out and talk to young people, you hear older people say it, whether it's been my high schoolers, my college, or even some of my pro guests that's been on. And sometimes as a young person, you feel like, they don't understand the day. They're not my age. But I have a young man who's right in Georgia, who doesn't make an excuse about his age, but he's already not only doing well in the sport, but he's also doing well in the game. Demetrius, keep up the good work, man. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Y'all know I say it ain't going to stop because we're in the fourth season, but it is good to be great in the sport that you're playing, but it's even better to be great in life. So I challenge you to take the information given. If you know a young athlete around Demetrius' age or younger, please let them see this episode. This information is vital for them to see an awesome young example, their age or maybe even younger, see what he is doing. Like I said, it's even better to be great in life. Continue to join us as we go out and up. Thank you, and we'll see you next episode.